Nityanandam. Namaste, welcome. Today I want to talk about the very important topic of doubt, a very important psychological concept that as of now we don't have much clarity on that. Uh, because these days, there are so many things that is happening, and anyone can come on YouTube and accuse others. So we don't know who is speaking truth. Initially, it just looks so confusing. So I just wanted to talk about this very important, topic called doubt, and how we do a simple technique and know the truth. I'll discuss about one simple technique to understand which party is saying the truth from their just from watching their videos. So let's talk about the doubt first. Doubt is a very important psychological uh, idea that has been used from ancient times by many people. People use it for various purposes in a very low quantity and frequency. The doubt can be helpful, and it is helpful if it is used as analyze to analyze things in your life. You can get we can get benefit from it. I can compare doubt with speed breakers. They're needed just to see what's happening around and to save ourselves and from other people getting harmed. If that is the use of doubt, it's all good. But if the doubt becomes frequent and it becomes bigger, and it becomes the functioning mechanism of your mind, then it becomes harmful to us, to our body, to our mind, to our consciousness. If there are lots of speed breakers in your journey, in your road, then it will delay your journey. It will impede your whatever you want to do in your life. So compare these doubts with the speed breakers, or you can use it. You can even compare with some sort of let's say a nitrogen gas. If it is in a small ratio, in a ratio below 70%, it will help you. If it is more than 70%, it becomes toxic for your body, for your oxygenation. So it is a essential thing. You cannot avoid it. But if it becomes bigger, it becomes psychological toxin. Then it will destroy people. As a counselor, as an integrated counselor, as a doctor, as a therapist, I see at least 30 people per day from last many years. And some people, I see when I listen to their story and their problems, there's the depression, the anxiety, and their, lack of being happy in their life, lack of happiness in their life. That is the one problem they come with. But if you listen to their problem very deeply, and you'll find there is a one some people, the only problem I can find is a doubt. They don't have any other problem. They have money, relationship, but they suffer with doubt and they don't know about it. That is where the problem is. And but when you tell them this thing, they are awakened, and that helps them. So this knowledge of doubt came to me from Swamiji. Actually, he is the only master in my knowledge and experience that has talked so deeply on this topic, so extensively on this topic. There's nothing left to be more, talk about this topic basically. His understanding on doubt is so deep and clear. His, I had the fortune of, being with Paramahansa Yogananda for at least 10 years. I was the member with a lot of due respect to the great masters that I was associated with, and I revere them. Paramahansa Yogananda is and four lineages of masters. And then I had also fortune of reading, the great masters like Ramakrishna and Vivekananda. I have read their work, biographies, and Vivekananda's works. And I also worked on Swami Rama's books. I was quite fascinated by this great yogi. I've read his works and books, his biographies, the biographies from his disciples, and his videos. I've watched all his videos on YouTube. And I've also read masters like Ramana Maharshi, and Maharishi Mahesh Yogi was another yogi. I read his books and did his techniques as well. And the current masters, Amritanand Ma and the others gurus, so called, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar and Sadhguru. I've watched most of them, whatever I can find. Uh, I I don't know, and I've also read, some of the books on psychiatry and psychological books where I can find techniques to learn, to help my people, my friend, my clients. So I have never find that all of, maybe it wasn't time for people to understand, but the psychological books basically don't write much on other than a bit of doubt and self-doubt. But here, only Swamiji has narrated the whole genesis of doubt. How does it starts? How the psychological self-doubt, the psychological uh, tox, toxic, doubt can enter our system. How it develops into self-doubt, self-hatred develops into branches into self-hatred and self-doubt and hatred and denial on all the other people around us, onto the universe. Then it becomes a corrupted functioning mechanism of our very mind, where we see everything with a doubt, develops into fear, develops into so many psychological problems. So to avoid this, we have to be very mindful of what this doubt can do inside us. It may look so innocent initially, but because somehow these fraud and cheaters and abusers, and there are some people in the world with a negative agenda, and they know somehow, they although they don't, I'm sure they don't know the full genesis of doubt, otherwise they would not have used it in the first place anyway. Because they somehow know the idea of this doubt, they constantly play with that doubt in the mind. We have seen in many cases in the world, in the courts, the lawyer who is more cunning and who is more can play with the words, who is very confident, and who can even misguide public and judge into giving the false judgment. And he wants the case, although he might be standing on the falsehood. He might be saving his client who is not truth, and he knows that, but still he's using his logics and his doubt to throw doubt on. So that is how people use doubt to imprison us, to imprison our consciousness, to imprison our intelligence. But as a human being, we know that truth does not stand on the scene. Truth doesn't stand on logistic. Truth doesn't stand on doubt. Doubt and truth are not at all related. They are not that they're completely different psychological entity. They're different realities. Truth is what it is. Doubt is just a creation of someone's logic. Someone logic can be logical, it could be illogical, it could be misguided, it could come from so many other psychological intention. We don't know. No one knows. So in this war of doubt, how do I know which side is telling the truth? Because you can be easily fooled by makeup, by a scene, by creating a scene like in the movies, and you can narrate things beautifully with your, if you, especially if you have a channel, if you have a beauty, if you are very if you are known to use words to if you are a public speaker of some sort, then you know how to play with the people's people's doubt, and can install that so gently and innocently and without people's awareness, and slowly you'll put poison into their mind. And this is not the first time this has happened. Throughout history, any big personality, any, especially the great masters, non-violent, very powerful, very wise, enlightened beings like Buddha, Rama, Jesus, even as late as recently as uh, Paramahansa Yogananda, Satya Sai Baba, and uh, Vivekananda, they all have had their own share of accusations and wild, you know, accusations on them. I remember the case of Buddha, where in a full big court, in a king's court, a lady actually accused him of being a son, the father of lady's son. But this lady had a completely malicious agenda. She was, because he had some jealousy and some with Buddha. Perhaps he didn't give him time or something. Then she went to court and then accuses Buddha of being, became his son's father, and and later it was found out that this was completely a lie. So people have tried their best in many ways, in many from ancient times, because you cannot stop people thinking and doing whatever they want. That is the freedom that people have been given. So they can kill themselves, they can harm people, they can, people can do whatever they like. That is, and they forget that they have to face the karma. They have got unbiased, innate intelligence in them, which is called soul. So this is where my technique is based on, this technique. See, we can fool people by creating a scene by eyesight, because you cannot see the agenda. But fortunately, you can't fool people with the sound. Your sound comes from your very depth of your perception, from your whole being, your body, mind, your consciousness, in all its entirety. Your sound is coming from. Your sound carries the essence of you. The sound is the medium on which all our masters worked on, in past, and they're working now. All mantras are based on sound. So you cannot play, you cannot hide your intention from your sound. You can hide your intention by creating a scene about you, by trying to, you can fool people's eye. You may also fool people's ear, but you cannot fool people's being, their soul, the innate intelligence within them. So I will request my viewers, whoever are confused about which party is telling the truth, to please listen both parties for at least 5 to 10 minutes, and then just close your eyes after listening each party, and then see how it affects you for that moment, for a few minutes. Is it uplifting your mood? Is it making you feel better about yourself, better about life? Is it making you feel good about? Is it elevating? Is it motivating you? Is it pushing you higher? Are you feeling something extra within you? Is it striking? Is it making your life feel a bit more divine, bit more, precious? Then it is based on truth. Then it is truth. Whereas in other case, if it is making you, agitating you from the negative approach, is it making you depressed, low? Is it kindling all your insecurities? Is it kindling inside us of our own patterns? Is it making us more unhappy by some total of it at that moment and throughout the day? Is it putting you into more low mood, depression, anxiety, whatever? Then understand it is coming from the untruth, falsehood, fraud, cheating. So, and you can decide. So this is a simple technique. You can all do yourself and find out which side is taking the truth, you know, and then make your own assumption from that. After saying this, I wish you all the best in your health, in your life, in your whatever journey you want to pursue in your life and be established in truth. Nityanandam, Namaste.